So hello everyone and welcome to this webinar information session on FilmLab New Voices presented by the South Australian Film Corporation. My name is Jessica Giacco and I am the Talent Development Manager here at the SAFC. So what is FilmLab New Voices? FilmLab New Voices is a program for new, low-budget, feature-length projects of any genre that demonstrate a distinctive creative voice, authentic, compelling narrative, and a bold, independent vision. We really want to see what makes your project different. How can you stand out in the current market, domestically and globally, when there is such a saturation of films on the landscape? What makes your story and your creative voice stand out? The SAFC is prepared to back your voice and to take risks in this initiative. The Film Lab offers an exciting platform for the next generation of diverse South Australian filmmaking talent. So Film Lab New Voices will give up to 3 South Australian creative teams the opportunity to develop their feature film project through 12 months of industry expert mentoring. All 3 teams will then have the chance to apply for the Film Lab New Voices production program, and 1 team will be selected to receive $600,000 in production funding. So the program runs in 2 phases. Phase 1 is development. The Film Lab New Voices development phase is now open for applications as phase 1 of the program, and it's supported by the SAFC and with financial assistance from Screen Australia. Phase 2 is production. The Film Lab New Voices production program will open later in 2026 for eligible projects that have completed the development program, phase 1. So the teams selected to participate in phase 1 development will then have the opportunity to apply to phase 2 production. So let's look a bit at the background of the Film Lab. So the Film Lab goes back to 2009 when it first started. It ran for 3 years over that time, and it came up with some incredible feature films, first-time feature films from some wonderful creative teams came out of the lab through that period. As you can see on the screen here, there are some posters here of some of the wonderful projects that came out of it, including 52 Tuesdays in the first iteration of Film Lab, which kickstarted the career of Sophie Hyde and a lot of her closer founders and collaborators, and it went on to premiere at the Berlinale. You can also see Shut Up Little Man and Infinite Man. All of these films, wonderful. All of these were first-time feature films from incredible emerging talent that came out of the lab during that period. There was then a break from 2013 on from the Film Lab. So we decided it was time to build on a legacy after that. And the legacy included uncovering new, bold, diverse voices. That is really the foundation of this program. We want to uncover those new, bold, diverse voices. We want to support the next wave of South Australian talent because you're absolutely there. I am someone who is not from South Australia. I am actually from Sydney, and I have always watched South Australia and really wondered what is going on there. Because some of the talent there is just phenomenal, in particular in the independent feature film landscape. So how can we support you and uplift you and get you to your first feature film and get your career kick-started? Let's have a look at some of the most recent round of Film Lab. So Film Lab started again in 2020. The first iteration, round 1, the successful project that went on to production funding was called Monolith. So Monolith had some fantastic success on the festival circuit globally. It starred Lily Sullivan. It was written by Lucy Campbell, directed by Matt Vaselli, produced by Bettina Hamilton. All of these creatives have really kickstarted their careers and are now progressing at an incredible rate. Round 2 was Lesbian Space Princess, which I'm sure some of you will know of. Had incredible reviews. It's so much fun. It premiered at the Berlinale. It won the Teddy Award. I mean, what more can we say? It really took, the careers really took off for Emma Hobbs and Leela Varghese, who co-created Lesbian Space Princess, and Tom Phillips as well, who produced it. So another incredible success story there. Also showing that you can come in with an animation. So round 3 is The Debt. So The Debt is a First Nations-led horror film which has been given the green light for production under the Film Lab New Voices initiative. We look forward to hearing how that progresses in the future. So some program details. Film Lab New Voices, it's a 12-month skills training initiative. You're supported through the initiative by a mentor and advisors. They will have experience in script development, low budget film methodology, festivals and markets, including strategy, pitching, and getting production ready. We'll also have some really great special guest national and international speakers who are relevant to your projects and to the stages of development. And these will include writers, directors, and producers. These guests will really be curated dependent on who participates in the program, what your project needs, and what you need as practitioners. What we need from you is a 12-month commitment. Plus, we need professionalism. In order to have a sustainable career in this industry, professionalism is a requirement. So up to 3 teams will be selected for 12 months of industry mentoring. One team will receive a $600,000 production grant, and it is for SA key creatives who are writers, directors, and producers. Who is eligible? So this is really important. So there's a bit of a chunk of the webinar here. We're going to go into eligibility now because it is important to understand if you are eligible before you can apply. And there will be 2 stages for the application, and the first stage is eligibility. So who is eligible? Early career South Australian key creative teams, writers, directors, producers who own or have the option to acquire the rights to develop and produce the work. You must own your work. The IP must reside within South Australia. At least one key creative from your team must identify as being from a group underrepresented in the South Australian screen industry, including First Nations practitioners, female identifying writers and directors, deaf and/or disabled practitioners, practitioners from culturally and linguistically diverse or COLD backgrounds, LGBTQIA+ practitioners, and practitioners from regional and remote areas of South Australia. So priority will be given to applications from teams, including at least one key creative who identifies as deaf and/or disabled. So just so you know as well, we do look at teams of 3, a writer, a director, and a producer, but we do accept teams of 2, where there is a writer/director plus a producer. We will not accept teams of 1, where you're a writer, director, and producer. And if you're more than 3, you will need to talk to us about that first. Key creatives must be South Australian residents. You must not have prior feature film credits in your specific role, unless these features were produced without any federal or state territory government funding, or where the key creative's prior credit is in a different medium, i.e. documentary director now attached to a scripted project. You must demonstrate a commitment to and aptitude for feature filmmaking through prior short form or unreleased credits in your roles. You must demonstrate your ability to deliver the project to professional standards, on schedule, and within the allocated budget. This is an important note. And you must not be in breach of any current contractual obligations to the SAFC. Who is not eligible? Key creatives from outside South Australia. This program is about uplifting emerging South Australian talent. We do not accept writers, directors, or producers who are not residents of South Australia. Key creatives who have previously participated in the Film Lab program are not eligible, and key creatives who are in breach of any contractual obligation to the SAFC. So check if you've got any outstanding acquittals. Eligible projects include new narrative-driven, first-time feature-length projects of any genre that demonstrate, as I said before, a strong authorial voice, authentic storytelling, and independent spirit. Projects must be designed with consideration to the available low-budget production funding. This will be drummed into you throughout the program. You do need to understand this is a low-budget initiative. Projects are expected to be wholly produced and post-produced in South Australia. Projects that are not eligible, short films, digital games, formats ineligible under the SAFC's terms of trade, projects which have commenced production or are applying for retrospective funding. So, now that you know who is eligible and who is not, To help you learn some more about the program and an understanding of low budget film methodology, we are hosting a series of free screenings of Film Lab New Voices. And these films will be screening in February 2026. Really excited that there are 3 of them, and each of them has a Q&A with filmmakers behind each of the projects. So we have 2 screenings of Lesbian Space Princess. The first is on the 10th of February, Mercury Cinema, 6 p.m. And the filmmakers who will be attending the Q&A are Tom Phillips, the producer, and Leela Varghese, one of the creators of Lesbian Space Princess. We also have another screening of Lesbian Space Princess at the Victor Cinema, so regionally in Victor Harbour, 24th February, 6 p.m. with Emma Ho Hobbs, the other creator behind Lesbian Space Princess. 17th Feb, we have Monolith screening at Mercury, and we will have all 3 members of the creative team, Bettina Hamilton, Lucy Campbell, and Matt Vesely, attending the Q&A. You strongly attend, you apply. I'll be there. I can answer any questions you might have. You can also speak to filmmakers about their experience through the program and where they are at now. Register at safilm.com.au. So where are we at now? You need to keep in mind, we expect a professional standard. We expect you to be enterprising. And if you do want to obtain additional finance for your project, which is allowable in certain circumstances, and it has been done before, you need to obtain approval through the SAFC first. So something to keep in mind. So in terms of key dates, phase 1 development, stage 1. So there are 2 phases in phase 1 development. Applications open 28th of January. What does stage 1 entail? Eligibility assessment. So before you apply, read the application form via Smarty Grants, read the eligibility requirements regarding SAFC rights holding and key creatives, read the SAFC terms of trade to ensure your eligibility. Then, once all your reading is done, fill in the eligibility form. And then if you are eligible, you will then be invited to apply to stage 2. Stage 2 opens on the 19th of March until the 30th of March. Stage 2, materials. A 2-page pitch document and mood board, low budget methodology, and pathway to audience. Something to consider. We expect an 8 to 10-page sample of screenwriting and examples and links to previous works. And we also look for CVs and bios of each key creative, along with evidence of chain of title. Okay, so if you get through stage 2, teams will then be shortlisted for interview in April, and then we'll confirm the Film Lab teams in May 2026. Program then commences in June of this year, 2026. The development phase runs for 12 months through to June 2027, where we then move to the pitching of the 3 projects for production phase. During the pitching phase, you will be pitching to a panel of assessors. You'll have 10 minutes to pitch. You'll be pitching for that production funding. So, and we will, as part of the program, be giving you some pitching tips along the way. The final project then goes into production September 2027. So in your 2-page pitch, please tell us about your bold new voice. Why is it so bold? Why are you telling a story? Why your team? Why you? Why now? What the themes are, and what is your low budget methodology? The application will be assessed on the following requirements of originality, marketability, pitch quality, team diversity, authenticity, realistic budget, and your commitment to seeing the project through. So once we get to the development phase, in the first month, we will start with some low budget methodology, and these are some of the key program elements. We'll look at past Film Lab speakers, we'll have some other guest speakers, we'll have some homework watching low budget films. We will also be looking at development models, and then we'll get into really working on crafting your story, the creative process, expanding on the idea and premise, writing your synopsis, receiving feedback from your mentor, really understanding what the vision is for your film in order to nail down that beat sheet, your scene breakdown, and your treatment. So once that month is over, then you will move into your writing phase, and you'll develop over the next 12 months 3 drafts of your feature film. So some low budget films to watch. We have, just move myself to the top of the screen. Monolith, Shut Up Little Man, Lesbian Space Princess, Infinite Man. These are some suggestions, and they are available on Apple TV and Fetch. I recently watched both Monolith and Lesbian Space Princess on Apple TV, so I can attest they are there for $4.99. So, program details. Coming to the end of the webinar here. Things to remember. Please read the guidelines. I can't stress this enough. We are here to help you. You must contact the SAFC before applying. So that means please come and see me. You can reach out. Here's my email. Please come and talk to me before applying. We can have a really good chat about whether you are eligible before you go down the road of submitting your application and doing all the work to get your application in and then preparing for stage 2. Let's have a good chat about it. So please reach out to me. Come to one of the screenings, the 3 screenings in February. Look at the eligibility and all the guidelines on the website. You can see safilm.com.au. And then if you're ready, once you've done all of that, get your application in. And thank you. Have a good day.